One time I was in Manhattan Beach shooting. I don't know what I was shooting, Josh. I shoot a lot of things.
I know. I hear that about you.
Well, only because I tell you about it every time it happens. So I see this beautiful woman policeman, and she has a handsome guy partner. I think, oh, my God. It's not possible. It is not possible. They were shooting beach cops.
That's funny.
Whatever it was. Beach 90213.
They were on break.
And she was so hot. And I was like, it's, now, no letters, please. No emails. I'm not saying you can't be attractive and being a policeman. I'm just saying I love it.
Welcome to Thought Spiral. We're doing a special Thursday night edition.
You're never supposed to reveal when we're doing it.
No,
are you?
We've said it.
Okay. Thursday night. Normally, tell them how it normally works, Josh.
Normally it's a Monday night proposition, a week before it airs, or drops, or whatever these kids do with their content these days.
Anything that we could even attempt. First of all, we are way past the age, me way more than you, of the age where we could attempt to sound as if we were with it.
Yeah, I think we've proven that over hours and hours now.
Off the hook. I don't know what they're saying exactly. No. I know that Daddy-O has decreased.
It's decreased. 23 Skidoo is falling out of favor.
23 Skidoo was always a reference that I don't think was a reference.
You think it was only an invention
I'm
in
sure
cartoons
it meant something.
and things?
What do you think it meant?
It was just a funny hipster thing in the 20s.
Don't derogate me this early in the show.
No, see, you actually remembered something from the last show. That's amazing. Well, I forgot to put you under the hypnotic spell before this one.
Now, Josh, I have a topic for you.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Fat Jewish?
Yes, he was the
aggregator-in-chief.
Aggregator. Wink.
Wink.
Thief. Wink.
One of the best aggregators in the business.
Yeah.
He would take... I don't know if this is true. I don't want to get sued. But you know what? Sue us. Go ahead.
No. Sue Andy.
Okay. Sue Andy.
Yeah.
No, but like he would not credit. He would take these jokes and he wouldn't credit them.
Yeah, right.
Then after he was caught doing that, I understand that he then said, allegedly. Then I understand that he said that he wouldn't start crediting them or something.
Yeah. He wouldn't start?
He would start crediting them. Now, why is he named the Fat Jewish? And I think I figured out why he's named the Fat Jewish as opposed to the Fat Jew.
I'm glad you're getting around to it. What, like,
do you know?
Like 13, 14 months after this all went down?
Josh, the topic isn't covered till I get to it.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying?
I see.
You've heard someone else talk about it?
Just everybody at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the deal with that John Wayne Bobbitt? I always wondered what the deal with the John Wayne Bobbitt was.
I don't know. Let's wait until you certify it a premise.
Let me get this straight. She cut off her husband's thing?
Uh-huh.
I mean, talk about a extreme act. I got nothing. Okay, but do you know why he would call himself the Fat Jewish?
No.
Okay, my theory is he thinks if he called himself the Fat Jew, people would take it offensively. Isn't that right?
Probably, huh?
In other words, like he probably came out with the Fat Jew. They go, you can't do that. I'm going to call myself the Fat Jewish.
I'm guessing there probably was someone named the Fat Jew, and he aggregated the name.
Hey! I forgot to start my clock.
Oh, no. Set it for 1959.
Oh, my God. How long have we done now? So the Fat Jewish got a deal with CAA. I don't know if he lost the deal with CAA, but everybody got up in arms in the comedy community.
I believe my recollection is he lost his deal with CAA or lost something.
And all of a sudden, he has shown up on My Wife and I, or is it My Wife and Me? Between My Wife and Me.
Okay. Right.
But My Wife and I.
Right. What happened to your wife and you?
And me. Who cares about grammar? Grammar doesn't pay the bills.
Actually, my wife's an English professor, so yes, it does.
Okay, so he had to deal with CAA. Because CAA, let me tell you something, I was very surprised. Because CAA is a stand-up company, and I'd be very surprised if one of these big companies couldn't care less whether someone aggregates, whether they found it in the garage. I mean, I guess CAA, boy, was their face red when they actually found out information about a client. This is the first time they'd ever been told anything about their clients. I'm doing a CAA bit.
That's really accessible.
You don't see CAA as the man?
I was at CAA for a while.
Get out of here.
Yes, I saw them as the man.
All right, now what years were these? I won't forget there's no way I'm going to forget my fat Jewish
I was there
anecdote.
in the 2000s, for much of the 2000s.
Now, this is post Ovitz, right? He left in the late 90s, right?
Yeah.
And who was the head of the organization?
I don't know.
Of course you don't know. You don't even know who your agent was.
He didn't know me. I didn't know him.
All right, now you're talking about the Creative Artist Agency, right?
I'm talking about that, yes.
Not Calhoun's artist.
Yes, and they used to be in Beverly Hills, and they had like this 2-story Liechtenstein in their lobby.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Because I know Brillstein Gray had one of those.
And they had, like, you would sit, as a client, you would sit in this giant Thunderdome of a lobby, and there was, 3 stories worth of balconies that would surround the lobby.
Yeah.
And so everyone could look down on you as you sat there in the lobby.
You mean the suits?
All the suits could look down on you as you
They're trying to intimidate you. You're the potential client.
And then their new headquarters was even more intimidating.
Is that near Kraft?
It's near Kraft.
Kraft is a place that I remember all of our outings are over $400.
Yes, all of our good meals.
When did it go from $50 for 2 people to $600 for a decent steak meal? Oh, you want a decent steak?
Oh, then it's going to be $600.
Yeah. Or you don't want a side though? No sides.
No, we could try some $50 spinach with that.
The most expensive restaurant I've ever been to was Melisse.
Yeah, where's that?
In Santa Monica.
Yeah,
and it literally. I told my friend I'm still paying it off, and and I did, and it was very stuffy. Great food, but a little bit stuffy. So I had some two good lines of the evening.
Yeah,
they would have me drink the wine, try the wine. I would not send back the wine if it punched me. Okay, that's how embarrassed I am. If the wine punched me and said, "How do you do?" I would say, "This is a good thing. Maybe I should."
This is nice.
Let's decant.
Let's get a couple of these.
So I tried. He goes, the waiter says, "Is it good?" I said, "Yes, not as a wine." Boom! That's my first joke. Then he brought the cheese tray at the end, and he presented all these cheeses. And I said, "I assume that everything's non-dairy." Bow!
And that's why it was so expensive.
I think
it's cheaper for others, is what I'm saying.
No, I think that's a $500 restaurant for 2 people. Yeah. I don't know if you go on Melisse Early Bird Special, when all the Jews go down to Melisse.
No, I haven't been there.
Excuse me, I'm here for the Early Bird Special. The French.
Okay.
Oh, quel dommage. Something like
this is good for Montreal next week. It's a lot of French. It's a lot of funny.
It's like Eddie Izzard.
Yes.
Your hero. Why do I do that to you? No, but his whole thing was he did his act in French.
He did German?
Yeah. I don't like his act. Maybe German will spruce it up for me.
Maybe the language of comedy will spruce it up.
Well, this guy, first of all, I think he did a show in French that didn't go over because it's not his first language.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So then he did it again and everybody was happy. How happy were they really? It'd be like me in France going, the French version of, how are you? How many did it take to light bulb screw in? You know what? It'd be nice if you were supportive of my stories. When you start talking, you notice I zip it up, listen like as if it's a new day.
Have you noticed I haven't interrupted yet? You'll say stuff like that.
Yeah, isn't that good?
Yeah.
What did you just say? I don't know what you just said. Have you noticed I haven't interrupted yet? And people are saying I can't remember the topics of the podcast. Now, here's what's steaming me about people.
Wow.
They should love this. This banter that we started out with, you can't buy this.
No, you can't.
This is not like the Abbott and Costello of the later years with an automatic pilot.
They were leaning on the writers.
Leaning on what?
The writers.
Low? What? Low?
I'm not going to do this sketch.
Low?
I'm not going to do this sketch.
You know what? You are really an impressionist deep down, dying to get out. Or dying to get out of the business in general.
Dying to get out of the business. The impressionist is trying to get out of the business.
Okay, so the fat Jewish.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
My wife and I watch Bravo shows. That's how it started. Bravo shows.
Okay.
We watch 3 of the Real Housewives. New Jersey, New York, and L.A. We know it's terrible.
Good.
We know it's contrived.
Good.
And we know it's bad for us.
Good.
But we love it.
Nice.
We watch that, and then we watch a couple of those like $1 million hoo-hoo shows.
Okay.
Guys, right? The fat Jewish showed up on, I think, 2 Real Housewives.
Wow, what a get.
And on the $1 million thing.
Yeah.
Right? And why? Well, that's my question to you. You're in the business. Why?
I know why, because I've talked to lots of people doing cable shows, and I've had this happen when I've worked on them, is they are trying so hard to get you to book internet celebrities on your shows. Like, YouTube celebs and things.
It's the YouTube.
As if they will bring their audience to your show, and they don't, really.
Now, do you think this was filmed so long ago that the controversy... I mean, these are new shows.
Yeah,
Could they have been shot before?
I have no idea.
The
but
fat
they just
Jewish?
They just saw how many followers he had, probably.
But it even includes... You know how they have confessionals?
Yeah.
They even include a confessional where they ask the person, have you heard of the fat Jewish?
Yeah. And had they?
Well, they pretend to have heard of him, and they had never heard of him.
Right.
And so the show seems to be a lot of promoting of the fat Jewish, and they go, of course I know him. One time they go, of course I know him. He's all over the internet. Everyone knows him.
Right.
There is not one piece of footage of the
product placement of fat Jewish.
Of the fat Jewish. Yeah. Nobody's in the fat Jewish business.
They must have done a pilot with him or something.
At Bravo?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
I bet.
Do you know he has no act? It's not an act.
Right.
He's just, oh, look at me. I got a beard or something.
I'm fat and Jewish.
And right. What do you think? One time he had his hair like...
I've been doing that for 30 years, by the way.
But now you didn't go over the top.
No.
He has like one hair like curled up all the way up top.
Like a man bun thing?
And they're trying to get him in more than one episode of the $1 Million Home thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he signed a development deal with Bravo. I couldn't figure it out.
It's very possible. And it's very possible they're trying to make him a personality by,
Not as funny as you would expect from a guy who aggregates.
That's weird. I would have thought he would have been a breakout star.
Yeah, for a guy who calls himself, who went with the name The Fat Jewish.
Right. Actually, that's his given name.
You snickered to yourself after that joke.
Yeah.
You were like, look, you were proud of yourself with that one.
No, I wasn't proud of myself. I was embarrassed, and therefore I covered it with a snicker.
A lot of people want to know when there's downtime in our podcast, what are we doing? We, as a joke, we do the bit from the Conan O'Brien show where we do a stare contest. People don't get to see it.
No, but it's just for us.
I saw Andy Richter a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
And Ken Jeong? How do you pronounce his last name? Ken Jeong? This is not good. He's a friend of mine. He is a friend. I'm just dropping these names.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it was at a voiceover. I don't want to brag, Josh, but I'm the man of one voice.
Right. And people are paying you to use it?
I'm the man of one voice, and they keep asking me, can you do it again? And can you do it another time?
Right.
Does that mean you're doing it well?
It's not you, it's us. Do they say that a lot? We had some technical problems.
They don't fire me there. It's always when I get back to the house. But Andy Richter was there, and Ken was there, and who got mobbed? Me.
By?
The people.
Which
the
people?
Paparazzi.
Yeah.
Look at your look of suspicion. No, nothing happened at all. It was just my way of saying that I saw Andy Richter and Ken Jeong, and that I'm kind of a mover and a shaker.
Well, I think we all knew that from just, the media.
Is it wrong that I'm trying to constantly one-up you?
What's
the
It's wrong
prize?
that you think it's hard. That's the thing. So what were you recording?
When?
What was the voice thing that you're talking about?
Oh, I was doing a voice for. Was doing additional dialogue recorded, which they call ADR in the business.
Uh-huh.
And I was doing it for Bob's Burgers, which I play the part of Mort,
Good,
the mortician,
nice.
on Bob's Burgers. Additional dialogue recorded. What I do is I make sure to tank the original session.
Right.
They have to bring me back. Now,
right.
They seem to bring me back less for new episodes.
I was about to say, maybe instead of... never mind.
You know those voiceover
I don't
studios?
Burn your bridge.
I love those voiceover studios. They almost always have free food.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah.
And you think it's being...
Maybe you should do your part without the food in your mouth.
That's one of my main things. They say, Andy, could you stop chomping?
Please, for the love of God,
Stop
Andy.
chomping. I said, that's what my character does.
Andy, you can take a to-go bag.
But then, what's the matter? Are you a Jew? They often say.
Yet you still come back for more.
I still come back for more. I wish I could make a living in... I wish everything was gravy. When is that going to happen?
I don't know. You need a few years of everything being meat, I think, and the gravy comes.
OJ's maybe getting out of jail. We don't do topical things on the show. In fact, someone thanked us for not doing depressing things.
Yes.
And then it wasn't your call not to talk about these things, but I think we once talked about it, and then we realized this is going to make us more depressed because it's not going to help anything. And we want this show to be an oasis. Even if oh, Trump rounds everybody up and we're put in camps.
That's right. We'll
you
still keep
want
podcasting.
this conversation. This is the kind of show that won't get censored.
I will spirit this digital recorder into the camps up my ass if we have to keep this podcast going.
This American Life, too.
The camps.
Don't make camp jokes. I don't know why I said that. You know, there's a part of me that wants, all I care about is that I don't look bad. Like, I would throw you. I would be such a. You ever get that feeling that Trump, when he talks about Don Jr., would throw his whole family under the bus?
Oh God!
Throw look, I'll give you Melania, right. Melania,
everyone but Ivanka.
There's nobody he cares about that he would not throw under a bus.
I think it's true. I think it's true, but we don't talk about that.
No, we're not talking about that. But OJ is getting out of jail. I don't know what I had to say about that. OJ is getting out. Oh, they talked about that he has a pension with SAG-AFTRA that he's.
Yes, that's why he moved to Florida, was to protect his. They can't touch their pension. He has an NFL and a SAG-AFTRA pension.
You know the they can touch it in Florida. Outside. Well, how would they touch it in another state? They just say you're.
Well, because he has liens against all his money from the Goldmans and the Browns.
Do they have any taxes? I mean, is that why Florida is so
it's the bankruptcy laws. He went to Florida, went bankrupt, but your pensions aren't touched under bankruptcy law.
And do you think he has money squirreled away?
I doubt it.
Yeah,
I bet they went looking real hard after the civil judgment.
So that was Josh said, please try to be topical in this next episode. So I brought up OJ's getting out of jail.
It was good the way you did it.
Yeah. I brought up a depressing.
At least you didn't bring up the Bronco chase. You actually brought up a current OJ thing.
Don't bring that up because that's when the Lakers were playing. That's when Houston was playing the Knicks.
That's right.
We lost to the Knicks that year.
I remember.
We lost to the Houston that year. I don't want the Houston Rockets to win ever again.
I think it's a bad time to not want the Rockets to win.
They're not around doing anything, are they? Wait.
They just got Chris Paul. They might get Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, okay. Wow. You really before the show you said you were into basketball, but for some reason I thought you were
kidding,
trying to impress me.
Yes, just trying to see Mad Lake, Andy.
Well, what else is in the news? You have no notes.
I don't need notes.
When we started,
it's all up here. It's a computer.
Okay. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So what happened?
I wanted to know. Let's talk about you're getting ready to go off next week. The reason we're recording tonight is because you're off to Montreal on Monday.
Right. Now, when I watched Dying Up Here, did you include on Dying Up Here in any shows?
Yeah.
They said they're doing an industrial. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
An industrial comedy gig?
They didn't really call. I mean, they might have called it. It's a corporate.
It's a corporate.
We call it a corporate.
Industrial.
But maybe all the lingo didn't form by 1973, Andy.
Hey,
I don't think that's a real thing to bust them on.
If I wasn't, if I don't know about it, it didn't happen.
Okay. So you're off to Montreal on Monday.
Montreal.
What's your how many you're doing? You're going to do your State of the Industry address. What day is that? It's
going to be Friday, a week from this Friday.
Okay.
Which I think is...
It'll be the Friday before this podcast airs.
There's no reason for us ever to promote anything current.
No, we gotta think 3 steps ahead.
Like 3-dimensional chess?
Yes.
You know how many times in the news they go, Putin's playing chess. Trump is playing check. Trump can't play. I don't even think he can play checkers.
No, I don't think he has the patience.
I mean, he literally does not have a fact in his head. Okay, stop that.
I think the only game he can probably get away with is like throw a shoe at a TV.
Oh, when he goes down, it's going to be so great.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm getting ready to go.
So I've heard a bunch of your State of the Industries.
Right.
But I've never actually seen it. I've never seen the room. What kind of room is what you're playing? It's like a hotel conference.
Yes.
room.
Now, this thing has been going on for 20 this could be the 22nd year,
21,
maybe?
I think.
21 years. And a lot of people say, Andy, shouldn't there be a upwards motion in my... I say, you know what? That's where you get in trouble.
All right.
Keep it on the same level.
Stasis is where it's at.
Keep it where it is. Don't get too excited. I've really gone with that philosophy of don't get too high at the ups.
All right. And only let the lows last for 6 months.
Right. And, ignore the lows.
Oh, right.
And then you take the mean number between whatever it was. Yeah, it used to be the Montreal Just for Laughs Festival, or if you were in Canada, you would call Juste pour rire.
Aha.
Just for laughs. Aha. You did the aha joke. And It used to be the Delta Hotel, which was like a really kind of weird hotel, but it was, I mean, not a great hotel,
Right.
but it was almost like a summer camp thing.
So it's like the Delta Hotel is like the Animal House themed hotel.
Well, it was more like we were just high the whole time. We got stuck in the elevator. We liked it because it was a little bit, not run down, but it was run down.
Yeah.
So I started the speech there in a very small room. And then we went to this new hotel, the Hyatt Hotel, and it's been in various different rooms. And now it's in one big ballroom type thing.
Nice.
It's not a beautiful room.
You don't deserve a beautiful room.
It's not like, what's the subway station they redid and made it worse? Was it Penn Station?
I think so.
Yeah. But it's just me and the comedians who are at the festival, and then agents and managers and stuff.
So there's no public in there.
There is no public in there.
Okay.
None. But the people they have these things now where there's packages that people can get.
Right.
So the little people can get
So there's
into
like
the
an
room.
insider.
What I'm saying is, there'll never be in a situation where you will ever have to worry that I'm the toughest ticket in town.
So are you, I forgot what I was going to say. Sorry.
Join the club. You know, this podcast is being done as a tribute to anybody can have a conversation that continues.
Right.
But what I like about us...
Real friendship.
That's right.
Can survive.
This is like real conversations.
Yeah.
Every 3 minutes we lose the will to live. That is how a real conversation...
That's what Jews talking is really about.
That's right. So what do they want? A slick podcast?
Right.
Hey, folks.
There's plenty of that out there.
Well, I know you want this to be slick, but, you know, he lost his place. The difference between me and Josh is that I've never had my place to lose.
Right.
Bang.
Oh.
Well, I actually was talking to my therapist today about that since I'm now, it'll be the first year that I'm both medicated and therapized.
For the speech.
For the speech.
Okay.
So it's gotten increasingly harder every year because of my panicky, neurotic behavior and my ability to put things off
Right.
to the last minute. And I told my therapist that you said that most writers, see, my image was that all writers get up in the morning at 4 a.m., they go to the gym.
Yeah.
First of all, anybody who goes up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. goes to the gym, what are they going to write that you're going to be interested in?
Nothing funny. There's nothing
nothing
funny.
funny.
There's nothing funny coming out of that person.
Why do you want to go to a gym at 5? Why don't you just kill yourself? Are we sponsored by Nautilus?
Nautilus.
I belong to a Nautilus.
Did you?
In Manhattan Beach.
Very
Nautilus.
nice. I bet you were ripped, I bet.
I would go, if you know what was
I
good
ripped my pants.
you know what's entertaining for others is to watch a Jew go up to a piece of equipment that he's not familiar with and try to figure it out.
I mostly regret that I never saw you do Taekwondo.
It wasn't like a Jerry Lewis.
But it would be in my head. It doesn't. I know you're a multiple black belt or whatever, but it would
Stop
still
chuckling.
be. It would still be super funny.
Third degree
It would
black
still be
belt.
super funny to me.
It would be super funny, but I will. Would you like to spar after the podcast?
Yes, I would.
I don't think. I used to love roughhousing when I was a kid. Did you play fight a lot when you were a kid?
No, my brother would just beat the crap out of me mostly.
Okay, so your brother. I forgot where you are on the scale of
I'm
kids.
the younger of two kids.
Okay, and was anybody a bully?
My brother was a bully.
He was, and like
He was kind of. I mean, he listens to this podcast, so we're good now, Chad. But yeah, no, he hated my very existence. I think.
How much older?
Like 3.5 years.
That could be trouble sometimes.
Yeah, it was trouble.
And was he bigger than you, or like stronger
Well,
than
he
you?
was bigger to me until about like 16 or so. Yeah.
And then you know what I heard? Is it true
Then I
that
matched
you hit him over the head with a with a shovel, when he was sleeping? And the only reason why you did was you wanted to research your Foster Brooks material. My first wife, burp. She died from poison mushrooms. Wah. My second wife, she died from a shovel hit to the head. She wouldn't eat the mushrooms. I've done that joke?
Oh, yeah.
On which show?
A couple.
Okay, folks, if I...
And then you didn't remember, then last week you didn't remember that I had ever done Foster Brooks.
I don't know, because remembering that you had done Foster Brooks would require me to go outside of my comfort zone, which is what's happening in my
Acknowledging
head.
other people's humor. Do you remember what city I did the Foster Brooks impression in?
didn't you? Is it? Yeah, she's from. She's from. Just outside Rochester.
That is horrible.
Let me hear it. Let me give you.
Just outside of Rochester. Now that is Foster Brooks. Not beep, beep, beep. Come on.
I don't understand. I don't buy that Buffalo is harder to say than outside of Rochester.
I know you don't. But these are the mysteries of Foster Brooks that we'll be continuing to repeat over and over.
Although
again.
just outside of Rochester is funny.
Yeah, sure.
So,
and then you're hosting the alternative show?
I host the alternative show. Now,
is that every night?
Tuesday through Saturday. This show I host called the alternative show. If I'm repeating anything from a previous podcast, I certainly couldn't care less. What is everybody, what are you people podcast detectives?
That's why I close every show with counting down from 10 and saying you won't remember any of this.
Yes, I'm hosting the alternative show. Now, it's called the alternative show.
Yeah.
And maybe people mock me online.
People mock me online.
They mock me.
They mock me.
Because they say, why would I call something the alternative show?
Yeah.
You know, like, it sounds like an anachronism now. What is
it kind of does.
What is an anachronism?
An anachronism is something that's not, and is incorrectly placed in the time.
Okay, genius. Thanks. I asked for help, and then I regret it.
What's an anachronism? I'm dying up here is an anachronism.
Oh, I see. So people would give me the business, but when I started the show, it was when alternative comedy was happening,
right,
against the regular comedy boom. So there was a justification to call it the alternative show, and I came up with all these names to not call it that. We actually called it The Lab one year, which is just a terrible name.
That's not so good now. It's better than the alternative show.
I mean, the improv. And then I had Mulligatawny.
Why don't you use your actual brand?
The what?
The Andy Particular Show brand.
Okay. You get on the phone and make that deal.
Okay. I got nothing to lose. Andy's not happy with what you're doing with him.
No, don't ever start that because they go for that bluff every time. Well, if he's not happy, tell him we loved having him. Please do not come up here again.
All right, I'm on it then.
I host an alternative show, but I was asking my therapist about how do I? You said you wait till the last minute.
Yeah.
No, not the wait till the last minute, but I thought I was the only one who waits. I just thought I've always had a negative view of myself,
right,
which is one of my core problems.
Sure.
That I'm dealing. Why are you saying that? I have a feeling you're pranking me with this. Are you?
I think that's your core problem. Is you don't like yourself all that much, and I think.
And why does that make you laugh, Josh?
Because it hurts to cry.
Does it hurt to cry?
It hurts so bad to cry.
Yes, I don't like but the thing is, I'm upbeat about it though.
Absolutely.
I wake up in the morning, I'm in a good mood. I'm ready to hate myself.
And I also think that self-loathing also not uncommon among creative types.
No, but if you said to me, I bet you don't want to lose the self-loathing because of all the material, I would say that's where you're wrong.
No, I feel like you're ready to shed the self-loathing.
Right. So I would always beat myself up every year, and last year was like the culmination of I was all out of joint.
Right.
So this year, my image of the way you should do it is the day after the previous speech, you take out a new sheet of onion skin typing paper, and you write the date down, which I have done. That's one of my big advances. I know when the dates are, that it was before or after the speech.
Okay.
And that you would be do a little work on 1 month, and then you just gear up, and then 9 months in, and now you put the finishing touches. But as always, I'm scrambling.
Right, of course.
And I don't want it to cut into my wasting time on Twitter time.
It's a delicate balance.
Well, I think I may have made a breakthrough with Twitter with my therapist, who next week will be on the show. No, my therapist will never be on the show. It's not like she's Larry H. Parker. Do you have emotional problems? I'll fight for you. I can't tell if you're fake laughing at me now.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't not really matter as long as you can make it sound a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
So my main problem is, as soon as things, like I know it's 7 days to the speech, I know I have a lot to write.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do is not what I do in previous years. With previous years, I keep going over notes and notes and notes and keep making drafts and drafts of drafts.
Right.
And then when I try to condense it at the last moment, it's too much. I don't even know where I am.
Right.
So now I want to be a little bit more as if I'm writing the speech, which you're going to do, is what I've heard.
I'm here to help.
I know. I can't even provide you with
I keep asking
the
you,
outline.
Send me your topics, and I'll shoot you more jokes. And I'll do it tomorrow. I'll send it to you tomorrow.
All right, well.
Like I'm going to pressure you to send me stuff to do jokes for you.
I have your jokes here. I'm not going to go over them, though.
Let's not.
What?
Let's not go over the jokes.
Okay, here's some things I could say. Tell me if you think this is funny.
Okay.
The show Polandia never took off. Did I try that already?
No.
The show Polandia never took off. It's half a joke, right?
Yeah, it's half a joke.
But is it a half a joke where you want to go further into it, or it couldn't be a joke?
No, I think it could be a joke. It could be like, my favorite character, the pierogi shop owner.
There you go. There you go. The pierogi shop. See, that's the difference between me and you is you have words.
The cabbage vendor.
The cabbage vendor. All right. I'm going to talk about this year about Kathy Griffin and the
disembodied head.
The disembodied. I never actually saw what she did. I mean, because I don't want to be shocked.
No.
But I just love the way you build up no good will. Yeah, AC 360. I know that's not his real name.
Right.
AC Anderson. What's his name?
Anderson Cooper.
Anderson Cooper.
Right.
He's like couldn't wait to put out a mean tweet about it.
Yeah, he was not. He was not a savior from the bus.
I do not know why she did this. It's a terrible thing that she did this. No, he didn't say I don't know why she did this, but he did condemn.
He did
completely.
Quickly, yeah.
And so, of course, we're all happy that New Year's Eve thing isn't going to happen because that is just it makes you actually say, "I wonder what Ryan Seacrest is doing."
Maybe this year they could have the giant bloody head drop. New Year's Eve.
Now, see, if I do a joke like that, will I then be arrested?
Not in Canada. He might not be able to get back, but whatever.
What was the joke I just did? I wrote it down.
Polandia?
No, it was about AC 360. I wonder. Oh, we're missing him on New Year's Eve, and it makes you wonder. I wonder what Brian Seacrest is doing now.
Right. Okay, we're writing for the podcast is what we're doing now.
Josh, let me tell you something. I would say 100, 200, maybe 300 times on my stand-up career taken a card out of my pocket when something funny happens on stage.
Written it down.
Write it down
yes.
while I'm bantering. No, it's not funny banter I'm doing.
Right, no.
I don't pretend that I can both write a note and run a funny bit, but it keeps them act.
No, it's nice for the audience to go, really? He's saving that?
Oh, yeah. You're not in the audience.
No, I've been in the audience.
So, CNN, I don't know. I don't know why you're telling me. You call me up every day. You got to turn it on. It's really great. But I don't see it.
Really? You need to spend 8 more hours with it each day.
Okay, so that's good. I got Kathy Griffin. I got to do, I had this line. Let Hitler be Hitler was never something Hitler needed to hear. But that's not going to be for my show business speech.
Yeah.
My show business speech, I don't know. I shouldn't do it during this show. Right? This isn't the time to do it. But I was working on the Ricky Gervais stuff because my theory now is that Ricky Gervais is exactly like Donald Trump. That's my theory.
Yeah.
And that Donald Trump is Ricky Gervais's fault. Okay? It's not. I'm not saying it's a good theory.
Okay.
But it's a theory that
I would like to hear more pieces of it.
Well, didn't you love the old comic? What's that?
I'd like to hear more pieces before I condemn it.
Well, that's unusual. Usually you're in there before I start.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is science.
Well, he did the asshole character on the Office, the original Office, which is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Still one of the funniest shows I've ever seen in my life. Right up there with Larry Sanders, although they didn't do as many.
Yeah.
He was the asshole in that show. He was a jerk.
Right.
And we kind of liked that he was a jerk, but we didn't realize that he was not doing a character. That is him. He is David Brent.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm going to stop you here. How many Trump voters do you think were watching the British office?
None. None. That's true. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. But, okay, maybe he didn't. Okay, maybe I'll discard the part of the theory that connects him to Trump.
Right.
But
he was part of the progression of exalted assholes.
That's true. And he does many similar things that Trump does. He does comedic versions. He doesn't say, I'm self-deprecating joke about being sold out. He's like, I'm sold out more. He'll retweet. Ricky Gervais has sold more tickets in the first 2 weeks of any tour in the history of the world. He's constantly bragging without humor about how great he is.
Yeah.
That is Trump. He's Trump. How is he better than Trump? Trump's even funnier than him.
Because, I don't know. Trump never did The Office.
That's true. Trump was in the American
Trump does
office.
not have one thing that we can go, well, at least that was good.
No. Please. I don't want to say that Ricky's like Trump that way. No. I would never say that because, he did. That is the amazing thing about Trump, though, not to talk about him like we promised, but that he has really literally no skill. Like sold
Trump is not letting us down. He's like negative fantasy fulfillment.
Yeah. Well, he was all smoke. It's all smoke and mirrors and ripping people off. And but I used to sell door to door, and I wasn't great at it.
What did you sell?
Home improvements.
Yeah.
I thought I told you this, and I learned a very valuable lesson that people don't like to be disturbed at home.
Yes.
In Cerritos, Buena Park in the 80s, when I didn't know what to do, and I had it for a couple of years.
And were you doing the scammy, and we want to use yours as a sample home, and we were doing some work in the neighborhood?
Well, I never thought of myself as scammy, which is probably why I wasn't a good salesman.
Right.
Even though The Tin Man is one of my favorite movies.
I love Tin Man. I love Tin Man.
There's a scene in that movie where I think it's Danny DeVito. He comes before the commission, and they're saying that what he's doing is deceptive. The aluminum siding he's selling.
Right.
Because he goes deceptive. He goes, you know what's deceptive? A guy walks into a suit store, and the guy tells him, "You look great in that suit," and he doesn't. That's deceptive. I'm just trying to help people.
Right.
I just love that part of it. And then also with Ricky Gervais, the bathtub. What's your position on funny photos? I mean, would you ever do a funny face picture more than once? You would
for like a promo shot? Never.
Well, he does it for shots every day on his Twitter.
Does he do selfies and stuff?
This big, it's like
I don't look at his Twitter feed.
You don't?
No.
What do you do with your spare time? You know what you don't do with your spare time? Come up with topics for the show.
Nope, I just wait for you to deliver them.
This happened at my home, Josh, and we laughed and laughed. My wife said, "Watch the hummus." And I said, "Well, what's it going to do?" She meant...
You're pitching this as material?
No, this is just... this just actually happened.
Okay.
She meant like watch no bugs getting into it. And I said, because I'm a comedian.
Let me look at... This is my impression of like Bill Keane reading that joke going, nah.
Are you comparing me to Bill Keane? Because I would like to have his bank account.
That sounds like something Jeffy would say.
I think to insult...
What's it gonna do?
Which one's Jeffy?
Middle kid.
How many of the circuses? We're talking about the family circus. How many are there?
There's There's 4 kids total.
And then there's the mom and dad. The mom and dads don't have names, right? Lois? Is it High and Lois, or is that another one?
Lois, but I think the mother is Lois, and then the dad, I'm guessing, is Bill. When Bill Keane died, I drew this cartoon of his pallbearers with a dotted line walking all the way around.
Did you post that somewhere?
I did on Twitter years ago. Whenever,
that's so good. What was it? What was he doing with the dotted lines?
It was always like tracing Jeffy's route home from school, and it was like dotted up trees and through a tunnel. And
was he depressed?
Bill Keane? No, Charles Schultz was the really depressed
Charles Schultz,
one.
but he also had a great. The Peanuts was great.
Yes, but he never enjoyed it.
Well, here's the thing. I used to argue. There used to be a thing called the Stump. Do you remember the Stump?
I do remember the Stump.
Were you on the Stump?
Yes. The Stump was this online message, sort of pre-Twitter message board.
Right.
With a bunch of comedy folk who would ultimately be mean to each other.
Yeah, and ended up miserable. I ended up miserable from it. But it was fun.
It was training for Twitter for you.
Exactly. And you'd have but the thing is, at the first version of it, you'd use a fake name. So I was Squeaky.
Yeah.
Because that was my nickname when I was a kid in summer camp. Not Squeaky Frome like you think.
No, I was thinking Squeaky like high-pitched noise.
That's the way I talked when I was a kid.
Huh.
So we got into an argument once on the Stump about someone saying whether Charles Schultz, they were trying to slam Charles Schultz to the point where they were saying he didn't even have anything to do with why Peanuts was good. But I don't buy that at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think it was virtually all him.
Yeah, it was virtually all him. And was he very conservative, or he just was
He was
dour?
conservative and depressed.
Yeah. So you're telling me that Bill...
But I don't think he was super conservative, really.
I don't think he was.
Yeah.
I think they thought he was.
He's
maybe.
from St. Paul, Minnesota. So I have hometown pride for Charles Schultz.
Now, do you know him, or you know anybody who knows him?
No.
Why can't you come up with a Charles Schultz anecdote?
We played at... he had this theater that he started in Santa Rosa that we played at. And there was all these life-size Peanuts characters around the theater. And that was pretty creepy.
Yeah, that is creepy.
3-dimensional Peanuts.
Oh, you mean like in the air, like made out of
Like
things.
statues, like that were like human-sized Peanuts
I have
characters.
3 of those at home.
That's good. You have Franklin, Pigpen, and Marcy.
I have Pigpen, but from the Grateful Dead.
Oh, okay. That's where he went.
So you're telling me that Bill Keane was able to shovel out that pablum and not have it affect him emotionally?
I mean, there's a lot of...
Why are you making signals at me?
There's a lot of...
Why are you making hand signals? Don't talk about Bill Keane.
Cut.
What do you? I didn't know you loved him so much. Okay, well, get off his back.
A lot of rage in that family
Did you
circus.
read Family Circus
Sure.
every day?
No.
When you were, I used to read the comics
No, I
every
was like
day.
the kid. I would like buy, when I was sick, I would buy a Family Circus book or something.
Aw. Well, I did love
After Mad and then Cracked.
Archie, even though later I learned out through being obsessed with Harvey Kurtzman, because Harvey Kurtzman did Starchy in the original Mad magazine.
Yeah.
He actually got sued. Harvey Kurtzman got sued, and I think it was in the years before you were allowed to do that.
Right.
So
before parody laws were established.
Before
parody laws were
established. And so they literally got in legal trouble for doing it.
Yeah.
It's like you're violating Archie's, and of course they portrayed it in a very negative light, Archie.
Sure.
So that's why, and they called it Starchy. But I used to love Archie when I was a kid. I didn't know about.
What's up, Bughead?
If you read the real Mad magazine,
right,
the original one, when you were a young kid, you wouldn't know what the hell you were reading.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the same thing at all.
It wasn't the same thing at all.
No.
I'm hoping that after we're done, and I'm hoping this podcast goes the distance.
Yeah, which is
a few years.
Okay.
Then on the road.
Right.
And then we have a fake fight, and we stop for a couple of years, and then we get a reunion tour.
Well, next month we can do one from Acme in Minneapolis.
We should do that.
I'm going to be. I'm coming.
So
in.
did you get approval for that?
Yes, I'm coming in. I'm going to go see my brother. See you.
Acme is my favorite club to play on the road, and in general, it's an amazing. You can't find a better work experience.
Yeah, it's basically my home club. So I've known Louis Lee, the owner of it, since I was 16 years old. So.
And Josh, he won't toot his own horn, although he's writing this down.
Toot my
Andy,
horn.
please tell them about the great documentary. I will.
Okay, thank you.
Josh made a great documentary with Tom Segura, Chad Daniels, and Pete Lee.
Well remembered.
Oh, that was good. And they go to Hong Kong.
And Singapore and Macau.
Yeah, and it's really great. And Louis is in it, too.
Yeah, Louis, who owns Acme Comedy Club, who's originally from Hong Kong, he's the one who put the tour together.
It's a great movie, and the relationship between the three guys is great. I particularly
Thank
liked.
you.
But why do I have to read it like that? Can I just do it in my
I thought
own
you
words?
did it nice and smooth. It was good.
So,
Can I get one more less nasal take, though?
Yeah, okay, you ready?
Yes.
Michael Penn, and I don't want to name drop, but I'm friends with Michael Penn.
I remember him from your wedding.
Please, Josh. I don't want it to be about that Clark Gable was there, and Amy Mann and Michael Penn. But he always talks about how adenoidal George Harrison sings.
Yeah.
Listen, ooh, ah, ooh. Dear. I won't sing it because we won't have approval for it.
Right.
But I had never heard that term adenoidal before.
Right. I had my adenoids removed, so I can't be adenoidal.
I should have had my anoids removed.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't.
The adenoids.
You know, I'm doing this new thing where I stare at you after you do your joke just to see if I can make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, you make me feel uncomfortable as a baseline.
Now, what happened to your adenoids?
They got inflamed, infected. I don't know. They took them out.
You tell a terrible story.
I do.
About your adenoids.
Okay.
You tell a great story about your kidney.
My kidney, yeah, absolutely.
But the adenoids...
Because I was 6. I couldn't write shit.
Well, couldn't someone have to? Oh, were you having trouble talking?
I did get out of. I got out of going to a psychiatrist when I was in junior high by making a joke.
What was the joke?
The joke was I was having like these stomach problems that were maybe real, maybe psychosomatic, maybe an ulcer.
You're a mess, Josh.
And and this is like in junior high, and so my mom made me go to this psychiatrist, and at the end of the session, he was like, "So if you could name a book about your stomach pain, what would you name it?" And I said, "Tell Me Dearest."
Oh my God!
And he laughed so hard that he was like, "Oh, this kid's fine," and I didn't have to go back.
Oh my! What do you mean you didn't have to go back? Why don't you want to go back? I'm in therapy now,
yeah,
Josh.
but you're 60. I was like in 7th grade.
Was your mom not there?
My mom was there, and she broke up too, and she agreed apparently that
Tell Me Dearest.
Tell Me Dearest.
And how this?
And it was timely. It was right. It was dead on.
Are you telling me about a story that happened 3 years ago? Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, yes. I'm in 10th grade now.
Wow. And had you prepared Tell Me Dearest before?
No, it was really fast.
Your mind is quick. He said to your mom, he said, "Look, your son is obviously emotional. Something's wrong with him. But, he is
but I think he can cash in
He's
on
funny.
this. Yeah.
And that's all that matters."
Exactly.
So I would put him to work in a comedy sweat factory.
Right. And within 3 years, I was working
In a comedy sweat factory.
Yes.
By the way, as everybody's been writing me, asking me for updates on the people's home that I walk by.
Okay.
Every
Were
week.
they there tonight for you?
Tonight,
It's Thursday.
darkened. It's darkened, and the shades
Wow.
are closed. So you know what that means? It's thief night over there. Thief night.
What'd you get?
I knocked on this. I mean, what's the matter with these people? They have a show all summer. It's the middle of the summer.
It's Monday nights. It's scheduled for Monday night, and this is Thursday.
But you don't understand what I'm saying. When you walk by that window, they follow you with you. You look at them, they look at you, they follow you with you, and then whatever you do, they mirror as you go past.
Wow, it's like the Groucho and Lucy, or the Harpo and Lucy bit from.
They're there. The Harpo and Lucy. You got it right.
Yeah.
My favorite bit when I was a kid, I was obsessed with the Superman serial TV show. And my favorite episode that I could never get out of my mind is, did you know Clark Kent was Superman?
No.
I told Josh today. Josh is good with texting. A lot of people say he's not. I disagree. But I texted him today. I said, "I'm not coming tonight. I'm going to send Susan because she's very funny." And he went, "You damn right she is. Really? That's great." "Oh, you're kidding." And the joke was, "Oh, you're kidding," meaning that you were disappointed.
I'm glad you got it.
I like that one a lot. But what was I talking about? This is it. Why?
I don't know. You're just going through a junk drawer of jokes tonight.
No. I was walking on the way over here. They're doing a thing. I don't know. God damn it.
The people in the window.
When people listen to the show, how do they not hear this every 5 seconds? You take it out, right? Because I want you to take this out, too.
Taking what out?
Take this out.
Take what?
No, leave that in.
That? With
Let's do a couple ones wild.
Okay.
So nothing eventful happened to me tonight coming over here.
No.
Because there was nobody. I couldn't say anything about that one house I can look into.
No. Oh.
Does L.A. have a thing? Is there a law in L.A. that says if you want to walk, you can walk, but you are taking your life into your own hands, and do not, for 1 second, think that there's going to be a continuous sidewalk? Is that just the valley? I'm not going to say where we are, but we're in the valley.
Yes.
And I'm walking. All of a sudden, there's not like a sidewalk.
Yeah, it just stops a lot. Yeah.
So what's going on? So then I walk out into the street. That's now no better place for me. The street.
No.
And the
it's right.
traffic's coming down the street.
Oh God, it's like the Autobahn in this neighborhood.
What is it? In New York, you have to have a sidewalk. It's illegal. They will throw you in jail, in debtor's prison, if you don't provide a sidewalk.
Well, there aren't. You mean in Manhattan or throughout the boroughs?
I made the whole thing up.
Okay.
No. I do feel that I grew up in Queens.
Yeah.
In a very suburban, like.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made the hit parade. Guys like. See, I would sing it if you would pay one goddamn penny for the rights to something. But we could say it though. And you knew where you were, and you knew where you were then.
Girls were girls and men were men.
Mr. We could use a man like Herbert Hoover again. Didn't need no welfare state.
Everybody pulled his weight.
Gee,
our old
ow.
LaSalle ran great.
Now, you know they had to re-record that? Everyone knows that, right? In the later years, they re-recorded it because you couldn't hear it.
Yeah, they actually did a few versions of it.
Why do you have to I'm TV guy.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
okay.
in this pair, I'm TV. Let's go to TV
I don't think
guy.
that's true. I don't think you are.
I gave you...
Sure, you've got the whole Housewives beat covered.
I would say that's the first time that you looked at me menacingly.
Really? I would have thought it would happen at least once a week.
Okay, give me the adenoid story, but punch it up.
Okay. So I'm getting tubes in my ears, and they say, hey, as long as we're in his head, let's take out his adenoids.
Well, now, what are the adenoids exactly?
I don't know. There's things in the back of your third tonsils. I think of them like tonsils, but different.
Right, and I have my tonsils out.
There you go.
Did you have your tonsils out?
Nope, still got
them.
them.
Now, why did they take my tonsils out? That still burns me to this day.
Because they were gonna get infected and kill you.
My mom said they're taking off every other person's finger now. That's just what they're doing. I mean, there's things that happened in my childhood.
Did they take any other vestigial pieces of you?
They took half of my penis.
Yeah.
But since my penis is so large,
yeah,
it's not noticeable.
They took the part. They just took the part that said bar
Shorties.
grill.
Calzones. Ask about our calzones.
Yeah.
Ask about delivery. Closed on Thursdays. See, the joke there is I'm using all these words that would be tattooed on your penis.
KL57500.
You actually had the wherewithal to use a 555 number.
I did.
We pulled this podcast. I know we're not done. I know that you're a taskmaster. Josh, that's light.
Yeah.
We're actually over that.
Okay.
But that would mean you have to do a lot. And I'm not saying you do trim. I'm going to tell you something. Josh does not want this revealed. He puts my voice through a flanger.
Yeah.
He has a limiter.
It's actually called the flanger.
Do you not put a limiter on the voices? It's a Jewish limiter. It limits how Hebraic you sound.
It absolutely is. You're actually speaking in Yiddish right now. People don't know that.
People don't know that, so I could pretend to.
Right.
Five Schwenkel. I still think you could, if there was another roundup, hide.
I think
somehow.
I don't think.
Well, you have to
I
shave
could play
the beard.
Minnesota. I'll shave the beard. And I'll
What?
Just oh yeah. Oh crepes. Right
Yeah.
over here is where your Jews are. Is right over here.
That's what I would do too.
Yeah.
Turn in
crepes.
anybody you can.
Go all Minnesotan on you. Oh crepes! I'll take you down. Oh, and try my pillow
I'm going to tell you something.
right here in Minnesota.
There is nothing worse in the history of television or inventions than that pillow.
Oh, that pillow's a good pillow. What are you talking about?
First of all, is the guy in
it's machine washable.
All right, he's from Minnesota?
Yes.
Okay.
And he sounds like half my high school teachers.
And I don't want to put the product down. In fact, please send me my pillows.
Yes.
He's in the commercial. He's got his pajamas on, right? Is that pajama top?
No, I think it's a Jay Leno denim work shirt.
Oh, okay. And here's what he says. I worked 2 years on it. What could he have possibly done for 2 years on his You know why? Patented fill.
Right.
Do you understand what's happening here? He's taking a product that you couldn't care less about. I think there's a sign for it in the Minneapolis airport or something.
Probably.
And he's claiming that he put all this time into it.
Okay.
What do you like? Hey, did you sleep with my pillow again? How's it doing?
Well, it takes some time. If you're testing a pillow, those are 8-hour shifts.
Right.
So
I didn't think about that. And it's patented. I didn't know that you could patent a fill.
Oh yeah, all crepes. Yeah. I've patented several fills myself there, Andy.
He got in trouble for.
I think for we were saying that it'll save your life and stuff, and maybe that wasn't the right thing to say, so we gotta take that out of the commercial. But it's still machine washable.
Do you think you're gonna get any work as the Minneapolis voiceover guy with this? Yeah,
I hope so.
Do you know I'm doing a new character this week? Can you tell?
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah.
What would you call it?
Tuned in guy.
I heard what you said. No, what I'm doing this week is I'm trying to be a little bit like getting under your skin.
Yeah, I know you are needly this week.
I'm needly.
Yeah.
Well,
but Alex, our producer, was very happy.
He wants that.
Yeah, Alex was very happy with our deep psychological dive into your Twitter behavior last week's show.
Well, he also told me to start heroin so I could do a rehab, and that would be good for the show.
He's right.
Dr. Drew's.
Right. Celebrity podcast.
Have you seen? Why don't we one up Dr. Drew's? We just get that show Drunk History.
Yeah.
Okay, we do a show called Heroin History.
Uh-huh.
We convince 8 or 10 comics who have not done heroin.
Right.
We convince them to get addicted to heroin.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Part of it is they do a funny story. High.
Right.
Like something could be like, I don't know. I think I've taken too much. Could I be dying? Wherever it goes.
And then we could be sponsored by the opioid-induced constipation commercial people.
That is...
Or OIC.
That is,
oh, I see you're constipated.
Is that what it's called? That is my favorite thing when the guy goes, I really couldn't go. And I couldn't go.
Right.
Why is it with these Charmin...
I like that he's a contractor with power tools on opioids.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to be totally honest here. I've taken some of these opioids before.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
If you don't take them past a few days.
Right. Because once you take them for a few days, you can't enjoy the go.
You don't want to be on top of the fact. Also, after a few days, when I've had teeth problems.
Yeah.
And I use them after the teeth problem is supposedly going away.
Right.
You get very moody on them.
Yeah. I never liked the opioids very
You
much.
don't?
No. I like them when I have massive amounts of pain, like after an operation. But after that, I'm not that fan. I'm not a big fan.
Well, that's a metabolism thing, so that's why you'll never be an addict.
Bummer.
The drug that I don't like
Yeah.
is the one where it's codeine's in it. I don't like codeine.
No.
It hurts my stomach.
Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah. I just signed a deal with RX List. So if we do some of this
Let's keep talking
about RX stuff. What is the generic name for Prevacid? You're right, Lanzaprol. Like stuff like this.
Right.
Josh, I would say that we do have a syndrome.
Yeah.
It really is every 8 minutes at the same time we both lose the will to live.
I know you're right because as you were saying it, I was going, we each lose the will to live. Am I?
What is it? This should be fascinating.
It really should. We're starting to really get on the same wavelength here, and it's terrifying me.
Yeah, I want to be the who's that guy? I love him so much. Studs Terkel. Why can't we be the Studs Terkel of because we're not doing what he did? Maybe that's why.
No, because we don't have guests.
Oh. What else do you want? Let's get it off our chest. This is the first time we've done 2 shows in a week, and you can't tell at all.
No, it doesn't seem like we're steam low at all.
A couple of times down the road, we might bring in voiceover actors to do our parts on the.
Right.
Oh God, that was weak. So my favorite episode is Superman. I never said it, and you didn't pursue it.
No, I didn't care. But go ahead.
So Clark Kent, Superman is supposed to be sitting in this chair, and they keep asking him, Superman, or maybe it's Clark Kent. I don't know who's in the chair, and he keeps saying, no comment until the time limit is up. No comment. And what they do is they record Superman saying it on a recorder, and then every time they ask, hey, what's going on in there? He go, no comment. Don't you think that would be suspicious if the guy said the same thing over and over again?
A little bit.
And then they put Jimmy Olsen in a chair with a big hat, making him look like Clark Kent was there or Superman was there. I don't remember it, Josh, please.
But it was your favorite episode.
I watched that show as if it was manna from heaven every week.
Really?
Now there are shows that I watched when I was a kid. I cannot watch it anymore. I never liked Donna Reed. I don't know if you could watch Donna Reed.
No, not really.
I loved Leave It to Beaver when I was a kid. I can't watch it anymore.
As did I.
You think, is it hold up?
No, I don't think so.
Ozzie and Harriet doesn't hold up, even though I love Ozzie and Harriet.
Yeah.
Do you think it does?
I never cared for it.
I know.
Beaver was the only one of those that you mentioned. That
Beaver was funny.
That was of those real sort of mid-50s shows.
Yeah.
Father Knows Best I kind of watched.
Now when you get in the 60s and you have Andy Mayberry, now you're talking about it.
I know
you didn't like that show?
I didn't like it when I was a kid that much, but as I got older, I thought it was funny.
We've talked about the Three Stooges?
Yeah, don't like them.
Neither one of us like them.
No. Ritz Brothers, they suck.
I really want to...
Marx Brothers like them.
Do you think there were time periods where families were more popular? People wanted to see the Seven Little Fays or whatever it was?
I think when you were like a vaudeville act, and you had more than one family member in the act, you had the whole family had to go.
You're like a genius or something
Am
like that.
I?
The way you were,
wow, that's fantastic.
I feel like I would have made it in vaudeville, but I don't feel like I could make it now.
No, I agree. I think you're way past your time.
You know why? I'm an anachronism.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything?
You could be Frank Fay's foil.
Is he the guy who sings Crazy Guggenheim?
He was supposedly the father of stand-up comedy.
Was
also a huge racist and anti-Semite.
Who played Crazy?
Frank Fay.
And wasn't he on the Jackie Gleason show?
No.
Oh. What was his act?
His act was he was originally like a vaudeville MC, but he actually did
funny stuff.
Instead of doing stock jokes, he would do stuff about first person-y stuff and
that's sad though.
Mother-in-law jokes and things like that. But he was like considered the first.
Is there anything recorded of him?
I think so, yeah, because he existed up through the 40s when there was like Nazi rallies on his behalf after World War II and stuff.
Wait a second.
Like he was a really raging anti-Semite,
but he also communicated his anti-Semitism while he was doing his funny patter.
I don't think so, but he was a big celebrity at one point.
I love the stories about guys who were famous who were supposedly horrible, like Al Jolson. They said was horrible.
Yeah.
I wonder what was horrible. What did they do? I want some footage of it or something, or an anecdote.
Well, think of all the miserable prick comics you've met in your life.
Yeah, I have. I really have.
There's some major miserable pricks, and it sounds like that's what Al Jolson was.
And I'm not going to even say their names, but these miserable pricks who I hope I never do see them again. I'm serious.
Yeah,
these
I have
comics
a couple.
from not all from San Francisco, but the people who got on me for my mother being a Quaker and for me saying I feel spiritual. I hope I never see those people again. And when it happened, when I had the big fallout with a lot of those people, I remembered how much I didn't like them, and then it was like I wanted to like them.
Right.
Now I know why I didn't like them. They were assholes.
There you go.
Huh?
I buy it.
Do you think at the end of that boy, I told them? Or do you think at the end of that whole thing, it's like, oh, he's sad again with the self-sabotage? If I would just open my heart to the comics from...
I don't know. It sounds like everyone left the scene rolling their eyes at each other.
That's hilarious. That's like what happened. That's what the 60s ended.
Everyone just shrugged and went on to the 70s.
Enough with the outside.
With the 60s.
You do a good Jew.
Thank you.
Would you consider yourself a cultural Jew or a Jew?
I say Jew. I never say I'm a cultural Jew, but the depth of my religiosity is not there.
But I feel Jewish.
Well, because that's the only thing we got. That's the only. It's our nationality. If you're Italian, you're both Italian and Catholic. If you're Jew, you're Jew and a Jew.
Oh, I never thought. Well,
it's like I'm not walking around going, well, no, I'm part Russian and part Polish and part Romanian and part. It's an Eastern European Jew slew.
Well, my sister did the ancestry for herself.
Yeah.
So I would be similar, probably, right?
I did the Ancestry.com, and I found out that I've disappointed up to 6 generations of my family.
She found out we're 98% Eastern European.
Well, of course you are. I mean, you're an Ashkenazi Jew. That's what you are.
They have these commercials where the woman goes, I thought I was Swedish.
Right.
But when I did my ancestry, I'm from Botswana. Right. I traded in my Swedish meatballs for drums. I don't know. It seems like the example I'm using is racist. Because in Botswana, they play drums.
Yeah. No, they play them elsewhere.
No, but I don't want it to be taken that I'm
maybe
making...
Alpenhorn.
I want that kind of a thing. I want to find out. If I found out that I was related to Hitler, I wouldn't be upset about it.
No, but you would.
You know why I wouldn't be upset? If anyone complained about me, I go, look how much better I am than my grandfather Hitler. Right. That guy was annoying.
My Uncle Adolf has some words for you, huh?
Do you think he would... The theory is that he had maybe one of his grandparents was Jewish. I don't know.
I've heard that he had some Jewish blood in him, but it wasn't enough, apparently.
See, Jews want to think that he had some direct experience with Jews because that's why we get annoyed at Jews.
Right. We hate Jews for a reason. Him...
Yes. He had no reason.
No.
He hated us for the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
My Rabbi Levin, he was annoying, but for the right reasons.
On Passover, was he Rabbi Unleavened?
See? That is the kind of a joke that you can always
No,
do.
that was a pretty good joke.
I think it's very good. I didn't want to give it up for you because my new character is
Stern,
needling
tough
you.
love Andy.
I'm needling you.
Yeah.
I'm the needler.
Yeah, that's nice because you needed a little extra annoying edge to you.
Are you saying that I'm normally annoying, that it would be an extra edge? I think I'm delightful.
Right, exactly.
Unbelievable.
Self-evident.
You know how many people, you treating me this way, you know how many people are clamoring to do a podcast with me now? How many calls I'm getting a week?
How many?
None.
Yeah.
There's nobody right now who gets up in the morning and, like, discovering gold in the California gold rush, thinks getting into a podcast will be.
California gold? Did you say California gold?
Now what are you doing here?
Is that a podcast you're doing?
Was someone really named Barbara in Santa Barbara?
She must have been a saint.
Look at this. What do you call that? An apple tree.
Are you getting this?
His camera people must have hated him. Can't you let me shoot my own camera? Get over here, camera
Are you
man.
pointing your camera exactly at this place I'm pointing?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So you plant these flowers? Perennials? I can't do a good impression, but you have them down. And James Adomian does them amazingly well.
Yes.
James Adomian wanted me to do a shout-out for him.
Hi, James Adomian. That's fantastic that you do the impression, too.
I think we've done an amazing job here today.
I do, too, considering we didn't want to be here.
This is only 3 days after our other... And each one of these is like my dinner with Andre. We get into it, baby.
That's right. Sometimes it's a drive-through dinner with Andre.
Yes.
Sometimes it's the $500 meal from the place in Santa Monica.
With Andre. We brought it. But sometimes I think that we're both going to do a thing where I'm not going to talk until you talk.
Okay. I just did. There you go.
Ah.
Hey, people, do us a favor and drop us a line at thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com. Let us know what the hell you're thinking about what we're doing here.
And if you really don't like the show, it's This American Life.
I do forward them to Andy. He won't return them, but I usually return the email.
What's that? Oh, do you return the email to the people?
I usually answer them, yeah.
Is that what you're hoping I would do?
I'm offering you the opportunity.
Well, why am I not doing it?
I don't know. You're not very...
That's not nice.
You're not very loving.
I didn't realize that. I will start to respond to these emails. And therefore, you know when I should start doing it? Now when I'm supposed to be writing this speech.
Now's the perfect opportunity.
And you'll have the speech going, Josh, you told me in no uncertain terms that I needed to work more
on finishing sentences, punchlines.
I think God's telling me, can't you wrap? God's telling me, wrap this podcast up.
Give us a call at Twitter.
Give us a call.
Give us a call at Twitter. That's right.
Did you
That's
mean
what
to
I
say
said.
that?
No, of course not.
Tweet us.
Tweet us at Twitter.
We don't even have a Facebook page, do we?
Yeah, we do.
Oh.
Just neither of us tend to it.
Do we have a website?
No.
Not yet.
No, we don't need
What
that.
are we going to do with the website?
We'll just sell merch on it.
Oh, I can't wait for the merch to come out.
Yeah. If we have a website, you know it's because we're about to sell merch.
Andy and Josh mugs.
I can tip my hand that much.
We already have the winner. Someone reminded me of the winner. I'm with Mug.
I'm with Mug. And Thought Spiral on Twitter. And please go to iTunes and rate us highly and review us if you'd like.
Haile Selassie.
Yeah.
Now,
have a good luck in Montreal.
You, Josh. I will miss you next week. I'm not going to see you for like 10 days. It's a long time.
That's right. We're going to do another off night podcast when you get back.
You're the only constant in my life.
Oh, thank God I'm here for you.
I haven't seen my wife since the 30s.
Ah, that's what she said on.
Well, anyway, look, folks, we're very glad you came here. We have a problem with closing shows because Jews don't like to end conversations.
Okay, watch this pencil, Andy. When I count down from 5, you will not remember anything you said here tonight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, that was a nice sleep.